Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory goes to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Barakathum to the hopeful elect. It's Brother Taziyar Bayemya from the GMS Kansas City Church. Back with another walk and talk. It's been a minute since I got one in. Well, we did one last week, so it ain't really been that long. But a little break time walk and talk. I'm gonna entitle it, Eventually, the Clark Kent will be put away. Okay? Eventually, the Clark Kent will be put away. And this is a video going into the exposure that the men of the Lord will experience when the truth, or not when, but as the truth becomes more and more popular. And part of the inspiration, this happened like a month or 3 weeks ago. There's some Jakes at my job. It's only like 4 Jakes in total, including me at my job. So, but there's some Jakes in my job. They're Christians and whatnot. And sometimes I like to toy with their minds and trying to get their gears working, and play with them. But I was over there messing with them, and out of the blue, one of the Jakes asked me, "So, what do you think about the Black Hebrew Israelites?" And this is Kansas City, man. So one thing about Kansas City is that this place is always a decade behind. You see, the current year says 2025, but Kansas City is in 2015 right now, man. So these people are late. These people are behind. But for the simple fact that this Jake Christian, asking me what I think about the Israelites, that told me that the exposure of the truth is only increasing. There's more and more people that are, seeing Israelites and actually acknowledge them, even though they may not fully understand the things that we preach and the things that we believe in. It's the fact that we are getting the acknowledgement for being out there. Which, in my response to that question, I was like, oh yeah, they out there. Some things they say are true, but I don't really know too much. You got you got to finesse. Yeah, some things I heard about are true, but I don't really know too much about it. See, that's that Clark Kent. Not fully showing your true hand. Yahawashi said, "What? Let not your left hand know what your right hand is doing." But we understand that this truth is going to blow up to a point where we're not going to have a choice, man. All right? This truth is going to blow up to the point where you can't deny it. Which, these things that are part of what you have to consider when you count the cost. Because the truth is not going to be received with gladness to everybody, man. Some people hear the truth and they're going to commend you for standing stiffly in the face of your enemies, going to Wisdom of Solomon 5. Some people will commend you, but some people are going to say you're full of hate, man. And these are things that my own family told me. I was full of hate. I'm in a hate group. I'm living in darkness. You know what I'm saying? That's why bad things happen to me, because I always preach about death and destruction. You see what I'm saying? So going back to the title of the video, eventually the Clark Kent gonna have to come off, man. I can't just go to work every day and pretend to be my government name, man. And we were saying this a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago that we are not our government name. All right, you aren't your government name, bro. That's not who you are. That's not your identity. That's just a character that's being played, man. You see, it's a character that's being played when you go to your job, when you're amongst your family, or when you with your woman. You know, your government name is a character. That's not your true identity. But eventually we're gonna be living in our fullness. You know what I'm saying? As prophets, as priests, as the men of the Lord. All right, and that exposure, it could come with bitterness. You know what I'm saying? Like the woman that you deal with, even though you may tell her, yeah, my name is John Smith. You know, I like long walks on the beach, staying active. You know, whatever Jake be putting on their dating profiles, man, on the dating apps and shit. You know, I like Italian food. You know, I'm John Smith. You know, you know. But then eventually, if it come down to it, if you know they see you on the line, or somebody that they know sees you on the line, or they run across a video, somebody that they know runs across a video and send it to them, yeah, you gotta expect that bitterness. You know, you gotta expect to be demonized and talked about and ridiculed. But in all things, when you hold on to YAHAWASHI, and you know, really have the mindset of, you know, I'm willing to lose everybody for this truth, whether if it's family or not family. You know what I'm saying? They can say what they want, but I have to continue my mission to YAHAWASHI. Then the Lord will look out for you, man. You know, not to go too personal in my situation, but I had people close to me, you know, demonize me for the truth. And I basically told him, I said, if I'm a liar and a blasphemer, well then we just gonna have to let the Most High deal with me, man. Alright? I didn't change nothing. I didn't stop going to camp. I didn't stop making videos. I said, this is what what I believe in. This is what I stand on. And if you don't like it, there go the exit door, man. And for a minute, people were upset, but over time, they just accepted me for who I was, man. And so that shows that Satan will create a illusion around you to have you thinking everybody hates you. You know, everybody ridiculing, but when you stand on truth and what's right, you have no reason to be ashamed, man. We're reading that in Psalms 34. He say their faces shall not be ashamed. You know, I don't want to quote it right now. I'm just, you know, walk and talk, just speaking. But, you know, it say that in Psalms 34. Their faces were not ashamed, man. I don't have shame in saying that the Lord who the world's called Jesus, real name is YAHAWASHI, and he has the image of a so-called black man, man. I have no shame in saying that the Edomites, who are the so-called white people today, are going to be judged by the Lord and have to serve slavery, man. You know why? Because it's true. It's true, and it's backed up and confirmed by the scriptures. So just because these people have inherited lies, don't mean that the things that we say are shameful, man. Yeah, they can get on you. Oh, y'all always cussing out women, or y'all are misogynist. Well, I don't give a fuck, man. All right, I love women, but there's misogynist aspects to the truth. All right, so you know, just getting back to the title. You know, I've been talking, but getting back to the title. You know, eventually the Clark Kent gonna have to come off, whether it's people at your job, people in your personal life, or just people in general. You know, because if they put your ass on the fucking nightly news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, that's a lot of motherfuckers, man. And I can't control that. I can't hide my face. You know, we just got to continue to stand stiffly, and you know, really, you know, spirit of this lesson is really in that Wisdom of Solomon 5, man. So, you know, I'll put that out there. Encourage brothers, go back and read that Wisdom of Solomon 5 and visualize it. You know, visualize it when it says that their enemies saws get beamed up. So all these people that ridicule us has something to say. They not gonna be in the same case as we are. Lord's willing that we be the elect, man. But in all things, still be circumspect. Don't be out there calling your boss an Edomite. Don't be telling niggas at your job what you're involved in, man. You know, still we gotta keep a level of secrecy. But you know, inside the video, you're gonna have to put it all away. You know, you ain't gonna be able to hide it. You know. But with that, Lord willing, let's edify all praise, honor, and glory. Those YAHAWASHI. Shalom.